And thanks everyone for joining day 6 of Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. And our sincere thanks as usual to Satchidananda Das Prabhuji, who has been giving us such a detailed and deep explanation of the Bhagavatam verses. And really our heartfelt gratitude to Prabhuji for being so favorable to us and sharing with us his deep understanding of the Bhagavatam verses and helping us improve our spiritual understanding and our love for Sri Krishna. So just we'll briefly summarize what has been discussed in day 4 and day 5 of the Katha, where Prabhuji started with the introduction of of the introductory verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in day 4, where he talked about the explanation of the Janmadi Asya, where everything emanates from Sri Krishna. So the Supreme Lord Nanda Nandan Sri Krishna is the source of everything, and Nanda Nandan or Swayam Rupa Krishna is the real Vastu. He expands simultaneously on the left side as Haladini Shakti or Srimati Radharani, and on the right side as Vaibhav Prakash or Balaram. And the spiritual and material creations take place through Lord Balaram. So he's indeed the source of all the expansions, avatars, etc. And Prabhuji narrated all the different kind of avatars that happen, like the Tad Ekam Atma Rupa, which is the expansion with different modes, the Vilasa expansion or the four-armed Vishnu forms, the Prabhav Vilasa, Vaibhav Vilasa, Swayam Angsha, Leela Avatar, and likewise. So further, Prabhuji elaborated on the words Navyad Itaratascha Artheshu Abhijinas Swarat. So which means Sri Krishna is directly or indirectly involved and cognizant of the creation and completely knowledgeable. And Prabhuji talked about the 3 different Shaktis of Sri Krishna, which is the Chitta Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and Maya Shakti. So Chitta Shakti creates all the transcendental worlds such as Vaikuntha and Golok, and all the transcendental forms such as Baldev Prabhu, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, and all the eternal inhabitants of Golaka Vrindavan. Jiva Shakti, he with his Jiva Shakti, Sri Krishna manifests the liberated and the conditioned souls, and then which are also called the Nitya Siddhas or the Nitya Baddhas. So Nitya Baddhas, in which we fall under that category, and which means we are eternally bound and under control of the Mahamaya and the 3 gunas. And the last Shakti being the Maya Shakti. So Maya Shakti helps us in indirectly creating the different worlds or the Brahmans. Also, Prabhuji explained the verse Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavya. So Brahma here meaning the spiritual knowledge, and Adi Kavya is the original created being Brahmaji. So Lord Brahma is inspired by Sri Krishna. In the beginning of the material creation, Mahavishnu, who is resting on the Karana Jal, when Mahavishnu exhales, millions and millions of Brahmans are created. And these Brahmans are empty. And then he expands into Garbhadakshayi Vishnu. And from the navel of Garbhadakshayi Vishnu emanates a beautiful lotus flower. And that lotus is the source of the 14 different planetary systems within that Brahman. And Lord Brahman goes to that stem and sits at the top of the flower base in complete ignorance. And here Krishna plays the flute and grants him the Kama Gayatri, showing him the Golaka Vrindavan. So this is the knowledge referred to as Brahma in the words Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavya. So in the second half of the last session, Prabhuji also spoke about the glorious deeds of Bhaktivedanta Thakurji on the eve of his appearance day. So this is a brief summary of what has been discussed so far, and we'll continue with this journey further. And before we request Prabhuji, just 2 important announcements of 2 important events which are coming up shortly. So the first being on Wednesday, September 9, is Prabhupada's arrival to the US. It's an important event coming up. And September 13, next Sunday, it's Indira Ekadashi. So please fast from beans and grains. So these were the 2 important announcements. And now we would request Prabhuji to commence part 3 of the session on verse 1.1.1. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलम् श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। शृण्वन्ता स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनम् हृदयन्तस्तभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सता। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया नित्यं भागवत सेवया नित्यं भागवत सेवया। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। निगमकल्पतरो गलितं फलं सुखमुखाद्रवमृतं संयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिक भुवि भावुका। आराध्यो भगवान् व्रजेश तनयस् तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना प्रजुवधुवर्गेण तया कल्पिता। श्रीमद् भागवत पुराणयमलं प्रेम पुमार्थो महान् श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभुर्मतैदं नायत्रयाग्रह परः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today is Sunday, September the 6th, 2020, and we are very fortunate to participate in the Shravanam Kirtanam of Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam. We are still into the third session today of the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Janmadiyasya Yatvanvayat Itaratascha Artheshva Abhigyaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yatsurya Tejovari Mrudam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Amrusha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Satyam Param Dhimahi Satyam Param Dhimahi. Ashimkar Prabhu very nicely summarized whatever we have been discussing in the last two sessions on the first two lines of the verse Om Janmadi Yasya Yatvanvayad Itaratascha Artheshva Abhigyaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. So last time we discussed the meanings of this, the meaning of the part of the verse where it says Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Brahma means spiritual knowledge, Brahma Gyan. Because we have got the human form of life, the Vedanta Sutra, or the first sutra, or the aphorism of the Vedanta, the conclusion of the Vedas is the second aphorism. The first one is Janmadiyasya. This particular verse itself being the commentary on Vedanta Sutra. The entire commentary of Vedanta Sutra is explained in this particular, the Srimad Bhagavatam. And this particular verse, the first verse, also being the explanation of the Gayatri. So it is a expound, it's a Vyasa, or the expounding on the deeper meanings of the Gayatri. What is Brahma? Brahma means Brahma Gyan. And the second verse of the aphorism or the sutra of the Vedanta Sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Therefore, one should inquire into spiritual knowledge or spirituality. So, Brahma Jigyasa means spiritual knowledge. So, Tene Brahma, that spiritual knowledge, Hridaya, within the heart, Adi Kavaye. Krishna gave spiritual knowledge to the first poet, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma here is very nicely addressed as the first poet because he is the first created being also from the lotus navel of Garbhodaksai Vishnu, who is an expansion of Mahavishnu or Shirodaksai Vishnu, who enters each and every Brahman and fills the bottom of each Brahman about 1/4 to 1/3 with his transcendental sweat. That is why it is known as the Garbha Sagar. It is also known as Garbha Sagar because Garbha means when a child is born and it is attached to the mother through the umbilical cord or the Garbha or the womb. So similarly, the first created being born from the Garbha, we can say so as a metaphor that Lord Brahma appeared from the navel of Garbha Udakashai Vishnu through the lotus. And when he found that there was nothing, he went and climbed inside the stem of the lotus, and it was pitch darkness. And then he ultimately reached the top of the lotus bed or the lotus flower, where it was complete dark, and he was confused. He didn't know what to do. And at that time, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, gave Brahmaji the spiritual and the material knowledge of the Vedas by asking him to sit into meditation. There was a transcendental sound vibration, tapa, 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 and Lord Brahma, there, listening to that sound vibration, sat on this lotus seat and started meditating. And once he started meditating, Sri Krishna, Nandanandan, he gave Lord Brahma the transcendental knowledge through the Kam Gayatri mantra, through his flute. Uh, he gave this wonderful spiritual knowledge, along with the knowledge of how to create the different material worlds. But most importantly, it was the creation of most importantly, it was the spiritual knowledge that was imparted to this particular Brahman. There are many, many Brahmas, and as many Brahmans, that many Brahmas. This particular Brahma was very fortunate to get the knowledge of the spiritual world, not only of Krishna's all types of creations, spiritual and material, but also of Krishna's original dham, where the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Nandanandan, the Govindam Adi Purusha, his darshan through the sound vibration was imparted to Lord Brahma. And a glimpse, a detailed glimpse of Golok Vrindavan was imparted to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, receiving that knowledge, went into ecstasy. And then he offered the wonderful prayers, many, many prayers he offered later on. And one of those collections, as I mentioned last time, is in the Brahma Samhita. And in particular, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas or the pure Vaishnavas in the Sampradayas are interested in chapter number 5, which particularly mentions about this Kam Gayatri mantra that fulfills the transcendental desires of the devotees. Devotees are always, it is not that once one becomes a devotee, desires do not exist. Some of these schools of thoughts that are there, they say that one should kill one's desires, especially the Mayavadis and the Brahmavadis. They propagate that. They say that one should, the root cause of all suffering is desire. Yes, they are right to a certain extent, but they do not specify the root cause of material desires is the cause of suffering. Actually, Prabhupada mentions that as long as a jiva or a living entity is conscious or is chitta, the Satchit Ananda Vigraha, we are also part and parcels of the Supreme Satchitananda, Sri Krishna Nandanandan. So we have all those qualities as Sri Krishna. So that quality of chitta, of being cognizant and conscious, is an eternal quality that can never be destroyed, and that will always remain as long as the jiva is there, as long as the existence is there. And the jiva, as far as is concerned, it is never annihilated. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin, na ayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyo, ajo nitya shashvato ayam purano, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. In the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Krishna explains this wonderful qualities of the jiva or the soul to Arjun. He says, it is, he says, na jayate. It doesn't, na ja ayate means ja means janma. It doesn't take birth like material things. Na jayate, mriyate, it does not die. Va kadachin, never, ever. Na ayam, this soul, bhutva na bhavita va na bhuyo. Neither in the past, nor in the present, nor in the future it will cease to exist. Ajo, it is the oldest. Nitya, it is eternal. Ayam Purano, the oldest. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Excuse me. It is not. The soul does not cease to exist, or it does not die when the body is slain, or when the body is finished. Hare Krishna. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So naturally, the desires are always there because we are part and parcels of Sri Krishna. Nandanandan. Nandanandan has a lot of desires. Eko Shyam Bahuda Vidhati Kama Nityo Nityanam. This one Shyam, he actually expands himself into millions and billions of jivas, and he does that due to his transcendental desires. The word is desires, but these are transcendental desires. And also, Nityo Nityanam Eko Syam Bahuda Vidhati Kaman, and he fulfills the desires of all the other living entities. Now, those desires can be material and those desires can be transcendental. So, those who are very intelligent will always have transcendental desires, because the material desires will keep us bound as Nitya, but the Jivas in this material world, with Puna Puna Janam, Puna Puna Maranam, Janani Jatare Shayanam, we will be again, based on our karma, come back again and again to different wombs, to different mothers, whether in an animal body or a human body, or even in a demigod's body or a Devi Devta's body, based on the karma. So, but it is still within this material world that is created out of Garbhodakshai Vishnu's lotus navel. Actually, in the stem of the navel is the 14 planetary systems, as I described in a very simple way to understand it. It is like a 14-story building, with the ground floor being the Prithvi, or the earthly planetary system, and the 6 upper floors being the heavenly planetary systems, and the 7 basement floors being the hellish planetary systems. So these exist in the stem of the lotus, and there are as many Brahmans, that many different Chauda Bhavans, or the 14 planetary systems. They exist, or known as also the Trailokya, the middle, the upper, and the lower. Trailokya, the middle, Prithvi, upper heavenly, or Swargiya Lokas, or the lower, or the Narkiya Lokas. That is also very well known as the Triloka. So, but these material desires will somehow or the other keep us in this Triloka. But those who have transcendental desires, those desires will actually take us, transport the jiva into their home, their real home, where they belong, into the spiritual world, into the Vaikuntha Lokas. Especially, there are so many Vaikuntha Lokas, with so many Narayan Lokas, with all the different expansions of the Supreme Lord. They have their special planets, and based on the devotee's desire and their inclination to worship a particular deity, they end up, when they are completely pure, into that particular spiritual planet. But those who have the attachment to Nandanandan, to that Lord, that personality, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is the son of Yashoda Mai, who is the lover, the transcendental lover, Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha, that supreme personality of Godhead, who is the Kanta of the gopis, or the Kanta of the of the of Radharani, then those persons will definitely be given an opportunity to enter Golok Vrindavan, the topmost planet, into the spiritual world, where everything is created from there, which is the root. It is the root of the spiritual world and the material worlds. So, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave. That knowledge, transcendental knowledge, is what we should be acquiring. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, because we are human beings. Human beings have, it is a very, very rare opportunity to get the 8 out of the 8,400,000 species of life. It is extremely rare to get the human form of life. Prahlad Maharaj, who is a Mahajan, a great devotee, has declared that it is there in many, many places in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is there in many places in the Vedas. It is explained in the Upanishads that the topmost uh, amongst all the species that one can achieve is the human platform. Kaumaram acharat pragya dharman bhagavata iha durlabham manushya deha, durlabham manushya deha, tadapi arthadam adhruvam. Therefore, one Prahlad Maharaj advises that one should take to Krishna consciousness, or dharman bhagavat iha. This Bhagavad Dharma should be taken seriously. It is not something that should be taken very lightly if one is very serious about attaining the spiritual world, and not coming back and suffering again and again in this material world. That is the reason why one should take to this Krishna consciousness right from Kaumar, from a very, very young age, from the young age of 4 to 5 years. Parents should take to Krishna consciousness and teach it to their children or to their grandchildren, and that way they can make their life successful. Because Prahlad Maharaj says, Durlabham Manushya Deha. Why? Why we should take to that? Because this human form of life is durlabh, extremely rare. That is, even Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, there are a couple good verses. He says that Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyante Vasudev Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabh. Out of millions and millions of births, Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyante, one who has taken to transcendental knowledge and one who has really seriously on this platform of transcendental knowledge, that is Brahma Gyan. That is what here we are talking about in this verse. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavai. To the first poet, Brahmaji, Krishna imparted this spiritual knowledge. So this is the same thing again and again. The spiritual masters, they are explaining that, they are repeating it for our benefit, that we have to, even Krishna himself, who is Krishna Mande Jagat Guru, he is saying that out of millions and millions of births, somebody who is out of a jnani, one will become a devotee. Jnanvan mam prapadyate, he will surrender unto me. Otherwise, through knowledge of the Vedas, one can surrender to different demigods, one can surrender to different karmas, one can surrender to so many different kinds of activities and knowledge pertaining to those activities. So that is not the ultimate perfection, and that is one of the reasons why the Srimad Bhagavatam manifests, why Naradji, through his wonderful transcendental sound vibration, he gave the Srimad Bhagavatam, he inspired Vyasdev to compile Srimad Bhagavatam, to kind of remanifest Srimad Bhagavatam, because he said that you have given so much in the Vedas. Yes, there is spiritual knowledge. Yes, there is material knowledge. But all that spiritual knowledge also has got a mishra, or it is complex, and it is kind of mixed with also the pastimes of different demigods, Devi Devatas, and so many other activities that are there. So for example, somebody who wants to live a perfect human life, the Manu Samhita is the Shastra that they should be following. But at the end of the day, becoming a good human will not stop us from coming back. A good human means one who takes full advantage of the human life and takes to the Brahma Gyan, to this pure spiritual knowledge that will connect one to Sri Krishna's lotus feet, and that is real Brahma Gyan. So Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samatma Sudurlabh. Krishna even admits that. Krishna declares that out of all these so many births, many births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. After many births, ultimately then the Samatma Sudurlabh. Such a person is very rare, Durlabh. Out of all the souls, Mahatmas, Mahatma. Maha means great, and Atma means soul. So out of those great souls, it is very rare to find such souls. To do it. And then Krishna also mentions in the Bhagavad Gita that Manushyanam Sahasresu Kaschit Yatadi Siddhe. And out of millions and millions of persons who have got, or the jivas who have obtained the human form of life, Manushyanam Sahasresu Kaschit Yatadi Siddhe. Only very small, minuscule amount, one or two attain that perfection, Siddhi. And what is that perfection? That perfection is Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavai. That perfection is the perfection that was imparted to Lord Brahma about Golok Vrindavan, about Nanda Nandan, the source of everything. The very first verse, whose basis that Vyasdev is describing here, that Nanda Nandan, from whom everything, Janmadi Yasya, everything emanates, all the avatars, all the creation, and through his avatars, it is him who is the source of everything. It is him who is the source of the Haladini Shakti. It is him who is the Chitta Shakti, the source of Chitta Shakti. He is the Sandhini Shakti with Lord Balram. It is through Balram that all the different avatars of Sri Krishna, the Narayanas, etc., they all emanate from Balram, and all the different Mahavishnus and the Garbhodakshayi Vishnus and the different Sirodakshayi Vishnus, who are also Paramatmas situated in everybody's heart. So this is real, actually, spiritual knowledge. This is Vishesh Gyan or Vigyan. The knowledge that we study in school and colleges, they call it Vigyan. It is all right, but it is Vishesh Gyan, but it is not the topmost knowledge. We misconstrue some of the information that we have as it is the topmost. like the Mayavadis, thinking that, okay, we have to go beyond the three modes of material nature, that is sufficient. And because we are in this material world, we are seeing all these things where this material world is not even existing. So we are in a kind of a state where we are, because captured by Maya, we are seeing all these things. Actually, there is no Sri Krishna. Actually, there is no form. Actually, there is none of it. It is only Brahma. Now, here Brahma, they translate the word Brahma as the energy of the Lord, as the spiritual component, where it is the all in all. So it is like, if it sounds a little confusing, let me give you a little example. There is energy and there is the energetic. Energy is the energy is there because there is the energetic. For example, if we have the uh, a painter is a person. His energy is the painting, a beautiful painting that the painter involves in hours and hours and days in uh, in painting a beautiful painting. And when somebody sees the painting, one appreciates the painting. But when one ignores the painter and even the existence of the painter, then that is very offensive. You are believing in the energy, but you're not believing in the energetic. And like that, so many atheistic groups are like that, who are also of the same thought. Like the so-called modern scientists, they believe the Big Bang theory that happened. How did the whole world come into existence? How did these planets come into existence? How did the stars and the sun and the moons come into existence? So they go into the theory of the Big Bang theory. They go into the theories like the Darwin's theory, that Darwin says that the man existence came from the monkey, from the ape. So this is all very atheistic. They do not want to acknowledge the existence of the energetic, the Supreme Lord. So this is called illusion, and we will discuss that in the next couple words that is being attached in this verse right after the Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave. So this particular line, these three words, Tene Brahma, four words, Hridaya Adi Kave, Krishna gave this transcendental knowledge to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, being the Adi Kavi, he is also the head of our Sampradaya, by the way. So, like, there are four bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas. One should know what are those four bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas. Bona fide, I say, because any of these four Sampradayas, if one is a follower, then they will certainly not deviate in any kind of philosophical truths, and they know who the Supreme Lord is and what is the position of the Supreme Lord. They know the position of the Jiva and what is the existence of the Jiva, etc. So when the different the conclusion of all Vaishnavas is the same, but there might be different nuances in their goals. So somebody who is a wonderful Vaishnava in the Sri Sampradaya, so that is coming from Lakshmi Devi. So Sri Sampradaya devotees are bona fide because that Sampradaya actually comes from Mother Lakshmi, and she is the one. So Ramanujacharya is the one of the most important acharyas in the Sri Sampradaya, and those are the ones who are worshipping Narayana or Lord Ramachandra in the Aishwarya Bhav of Vaikuntha. So that is very perfect in their own theistic goals that they have. But at least they accept that the Lord is a person. He is a supreme person, and the jivas are also persons, and they are part and parcels of the Supreme Lord. So that tattva or that knowledge is definitely they're all in synchronization. So that is Sri Sampradaya. There is Rudra Sampradaya. Rudra Sampradaya comes from Lord Shiva. That is also a very perfect Vaishnava Sampradaya. As a matter of fact, Sri Vallabhacharya Pad, he comes in the Rudra Sampradaya, that Pushtiman, which is very perfect. They are the propagators and the lovers of Sri Krishna as Nandanandan, Yashodanandan, who in the Vatsalya Ras predominantly. And of course, they have Nikunja Seva also, which is extremely rare, and it is only imparted to those devotees in the Vallabh Sampradaya who are of a very high caliber, and they are interested to take part in the Nikunja Seva. Otherwise, most of them, they are in the Nandalaya Seva as parental care. So that is Rudra Sampradaya. And then there is the Nimbark Sampradaya of Vaishnavas. And we are in the Brahmaji Sampradaya, Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma, the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. We, the followers in ISKCON especially, or the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or the Gaudiya Math, we are in that Sampradaya known as the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahmaji is the head of our Sampradaya, because Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye, the Adi Kavaye Brahma, the spiritual knowledge, was imparted by Sri Krishna himself, Nandan Nandan, to Brahmaji. So he is our first guru in one sense after Sri Krishna in this Sampradaya. Krishna and the Brahmaji imparted this spiritual knowledge that he received from Krishna as it is to Naradji. And Naradji gave it to Vyasadeva. And that is why Srimad Bhagavatam manifest as it is. He gave it, whatever, without any deviation. And like that, Vyasadeva gave it to his disciples, and it came down in perfect disciplic succession to one great personality known as Sri Madhvacharya Pad. Those who are familiar with the name Madhvacharya Pad was a resident of Udupi. There is a Krishna Math, is one of the tirthas that Vaishnavas go to. And he was actually, he said that he was the incarnation of Vayu, of Bhima. And he actually also used to go, many times he had visited Badrikashram, and he had actually had darshan of Vyasadeva. So, and then Madhva, so Brahma Madhvacharya, it descended, this spiritual knowledge that Lord Brahma received. It came down all the way in spiritual succession to Madhavendra Puripad, to Ishwar Puripad. Madhavendra Puripad is the personality to whom Srinathji had manifested in Govardhan, not too far from Govindakund. He was known as Yati Madhavendra. By his name, today there is a very, very famous tirtha in Govardhan. When we are doing Govardhan Parikrama, there are many, many wonderful spots that the Vaishnavas stop and offer their obeisances and sit in those places and meditate on the wonderful pastimes of Sri Krishna, starting from Shyam Kund, Radha Kund, going further down. There are so many Mukhara, then going to Kusum Sarovar, and then from there there is the Gwal Pokhara, Narad Kund is there. Like that, going to further down to some of the important places, Mansi Ganga. From there, going to the place where there was the Danaghati, and then from there the Sankarshan Kund, Govind Kund. So in Govind Kund, Sri Krishna personally appeared to Madhavendra Puripad, and he actually came in his dream also, and he said, "I am here, hidden on the top of Govardhan. Please take me out. It's been buried for over 5,000 years. Please, take me and worship me." And Madhavendra Puripad, next day he woke up, and there, lo and behold, he asked the Brajvasis on the top of Govardhan Hill, there the deity of Srinathji or Gopalji was discovered. And then later on, it came to the followers of Sri Vallabhacharya Pad, to Vittalnathji, Gosainji, etc. With the permission of Rupa Goswami, they took the seva. And even today, the famous Srinathji temple is located in Nadwara, about 30 kilometers away from Udaipur in Rajasthan. So, like that, these are the different from Madhavendra Puripad, this Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye, that same knowledge came down to the heart of Ishwar Puripad. Ishwar Puripad is and not only that, it came down to Nityanand Prabhu, it came down to Advaita Acharya. They were all disciples in the line of Madhavendra Puripad. They were disciples. And Madhavendra Puripad also initiated Sri Ishwar Puripad. Ishwar Puripad is that great personality whom from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Gurudev. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Sakshat Radha Krishna nahi anna, but he took a guru to lead by example, that everybody needs a bona fide guru with the bona fide knowledge received in a bona fide sampradaya. So this is a very, very important point. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye, that it is not something, when this knowledge is passed down in the perfect disciplic succession as it is, then it is perfect. just the way it was received from day one by Lord Brahma. And then it came to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu gave this knowledge to the 6 Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, with a lot of love on the banks of the Prayagraj, on the banks of Kashi. He gave this wonderful knowledge. 10 days, 12 days, 14 days they sat, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke this sublime knowledge to them and gave them inspiration to write bhakti books. And these two, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswamis, out of the 6 Goswamis, the head of the Vaishnavas, they gave us so much pure bhakti through their esoteric books, Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, Updesh Amrita, and the Laghu Bhagavat Amrita. Rupa Goswami has given so many wonderful, and Raghunath Das Goswami, Vilap Kusum Anjali, and Mana Siksha, and so many wonderful. Sanatan Goswami, Vriyat Bhagavat Amrita, Gopal Bhatta Goswami and Sanatan Goswami has given us the Hari Bhakti Vilas. And like that, it came down in disciplic succession to those great Acharyas, Narottam Das Thakur. It came down to Vishwanath Chakravarti, to Baldev Vidyabhushan, to Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Then it came down in disciplic succession through Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji, and then to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And then it came down to Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of Srila ISKCON, 32nd in line from the Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave, received in the lineage of Parampara, perfect as it is. And that is what. And today we are here, gathered and assembled, hearing the same knowledge, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave, as it is. We are blessed because somehow the other, by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we are also speaking the teachings of Srila Prabhupada as it is, teachings of all our acharyas as it is, based on our capacity. We do not speculate. If somebody asks us some questions and sometimes I'm not able to answer, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to feel bad that I don't know the answer to. I will try to find out the answer rather than speculating, because we are not known for speculation. We are known in this parampara as it is. And that is the important point. I've been discussing very privately with certain devotees that are present in this group, that this is very important. Sometimes, most of our Hindu temples, they are nice. They're a place of worship. They're a place of congregation. But generally, what happens at the end of the day? Nobody ends up getting the Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave as it is. Very important. Think about it. Because most of the Hindu temples, like for example, in Chicago land alone, I think they have over 150 temples. That when I was in Chicago, not too long ago, that was the last count that I think somebody had told me. In the Toronto area, there is over 350 temples. Nowadays, temples are just springing up. They are going to these commercial plazas and they're simply renting a place and they're simply importing some deities. They're importing Ganesh ji, deities of Mahalakshmi ji, deities of Durga Ma, the Shivling, and etc. And Lord Krishna, Narayana, etc. And they're opening a complete, all deities are present, Sai Baba, everything is there, all under one roof, so that people can come and congregate. And then there are all kinds of artis that are being sung that are not authorized. They're not under the parampara of Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave. They're not authorized by the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. Completely unauthorized bhajans are being sung. And it's a very important point. It's a very tattva point that I have to elaborate, because this is something like Prabhupada was told when he was in New York in 1965. And already the Ramakrishna mission was established, because Vivekananda ji had arrived on the shores of West in 1899. He had come to Chicago, and so that is about 66 years before Srila Prabhupada. So the Ramakrishna Matha was established in some of the important major cities of US, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. They were already there. So when Prabhupada came to New York, he thought maybe I should get some information about New York City. These are also Bengali speaking, and Prabhupada was also Bengali speaking. And he went to the Ramakrishna Math, and there they started speaking in Bengali, some of the residents of the Math. And then they told Swamiji, they saw that Swamiji is a Vaishnava because of his tilak and because of his attire. And they are also sannyasis in the Ramakrishna Math. but they do not wear any tilak. They don't wear any kind of tilak or anything. So, but they recognize that this is a Vaishnava sadhu, and they said that Swamiji, that if you are here in this and you're going to preach this Vaishnavism to this Western-speaking people, they will never accept it because they are so much adept to free sex, having sex with anybody outside of marriage, gambling, intoxicants. They are always, every day they need a bottle of wine, or even a most sober person in the West takes a bottle of wine or a beer, a glass of beer when they, in the evening when they come back from office, etc., even if they're not drunkards. So this is considered the norm in the Western world. So how you will change all these people, those people who are addicted to illicit sex? It is very common to to stay in a live-in relationship, a boy and a girl, without getting married or even having a child. Some of this culture is like that, and this is what is now happening in India. We see and we hear about these different movies and soap operas that are being broadcast. Nowadays it is considered so modern. It's okay. Parents also give the blessings. Acha beta, go live and see if this person is worth living the rest of the life. No. This is against the Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavai. This is against that Brahma knowledge. No, you don't experiment like that, and then you simply, live like a dog. Ahar nidra bhai maithuram chad etad naranam pashubi samana dharmena adhika visesho dharma vihina pashubi samana. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are the four functions that are common to man and animal. If one doesn't have a fifth faculty, which is Brahma Gyan, which is Dharma, Dharmena Adhika Visesho, Dharma Vihina Pashubi Samana. If one doesn't have that Brahma Gyan, that Dharma Gyan, that spirituality, then Dharma Vihina, without spirituality, Pashubi Samana. We are animals. So this is what our Indian culture is all about nowadays. Hardly we get people who speak like that. Hardly people who speak things as it is. There are so many who are speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, they are doing katha, but they know, some of them know, and some of them they don't care to inform, because otherwise they will lose their spectatorship, they will lose their audience, and losing their audience means losing money. It's all about, at the end of the day, name, frame, Kamini, Kanchan, and Pratishtha. So this is the state, but our sampradaya is meant for that. And even within our sampradaya, so-called, if somebody behaves in a way different, whether it is in ISKCON or Gaudiya Math, it doesn't matter. Then they are not part of our sampradaya. They are simply pretending to be a part of the sampradaya. So this is very important. Just because we wear the tilak or where we have the mala in our hands, that doesn't make us a part. That doesn't make us a disciple. Prabhupada said very clearly that even though somebody may be initiated by me, he is not my disciple if he does not follow my instructions. So disciple means a sishya, one who is willing to voluntarily take instruction and follow the instruction of the Guru to the core of his heart. Chakshudana dilojai janme janme, Prabhu said, divya gyan hriday prakashito. One has to follow the Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, chitte te koriya aikya aur na kori ho mane asha. Narottam Das Thakur says, every day we are singing this in the Guru Puja. This particular bhajan, this arti of Guru Arti, where this is where in the first stanza it says that Guru Mukha Padma Vakya chitte te koriya aika. The lotus words that emanate from Gurudev, from the pure Guru. We are not talking about some Chalu Guru. Okay, we are not talking about some Guru who compromises. Here, when I'm saying Guru, or when Narottam Das Thakur is referring to Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, that Guru means one who has received information, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavai, just like Brahmaji received this information as it is. He has also received this information as it is in the Guru Parampara and acted also. So, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, chitte te koriya aika aur na koriya mone asha. I have no other desire except to fulfill the desire of Guru and follow the instruction of that pure Guru. Then we will be empowered as it is. So this is what somehow or the other we have been given this opportunity to speak katha. So this is what we will do. We are not afraid. Sometimes when we speak katha, many people think that we are speaking against somebody or they misunderstand me. No, we are not here for that. We are here to give everything as it is that I have learned from Srila Prabhupada's books and by reading the books of our Gaudiya Acharyas. It is not to hurt anybody's sentiments or not to hurt anybody's feelings. That is not the goal. Our goal is Prabhupada, when he answered that, he said, Swamiji, all these Vaishnavas, the Ramakrishna mission sannyasis and sadhus said that they will not accept these Vaishnava principles if you tell them not to eat many meat. How is it possible? As a matter of fact, Swamiji, to keep yourself fit, you also have to eat meat. In the winters are very harsh in the northern hemisphere. In New York, lot of snow and it's very chilly. So sometimes you may even have to take some brandy and some alcoholic beverages to keep yourself warm, because that's what they were doing. These people, they are meat eaters. This Ramakrishna mission, they eat meat, they eat the fish. Fish is considered for them vegetarian. By what standards? We don't understand that. Even in Orissa, there are so many Vaishnavas, so-called Vaishnavas, wearing the Kanthimala, but they eat they eat everything else. They will not eat, but they will eat fish. Without fish, we cannot live. Even if you go to Bengal today, so many places they have Kanthimala. They chant the name of Gaurahari, but they cannot give up their fish. So then, what kind of instructions? What kind of gurus have they got their instructions from? Those are the gurus who have compromised Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave. They have compromised the pure message of Sri Krishna, that Gayatri that Krishna gave Brahmaji as it is, that they have compromised. When we compromise, that means we are adding a material element, and material elements cannot mix with pure transcendental messages. So Prabhupada said very clearly that I'm here to give something as it is. There are very few buyers of pure diamonds, but imitation jewelry, there are thousands and thousands and hundreds and thousands who can afford imitation jewelry. But the pure diamond, only very few persons who can spend millions of dollars, they can afford a 5-carat diamond that is with the perfect 4 C's, with the perfect clarity, with the perfect color, with the perfect carats, etc. So this is the Krishna consciousness that Prabhupada gave, and those who took to it and can take to it, then their life will become most perfect. Of course, there are some challenges that will always come, as we will be discussing in this verse further in the next 2 lines. So my point is, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave means in transcendental information received perfectly. When the transcendental information was received by Sri Brahmaji, then he offered wonderful prayers. He understood what Golok Vrindavan is. He understood who Nandan is. So many beautiful words. Aloka Chandra Lasada Vanmalya Vamshi Ratnangada Pranaya Keli Kala Vivasa Shamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindama Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golok Eva Nivasyati Akhila Atma Bhuto. So many wonderful verses that describes the residents of Golok. So many wonderful. Last time we sang the 56th verse of Golok Vrindavan, which I like to call it the national anthem of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. I dub it that. Personally, I love to call it the national anthem, because the national anthem is describing the glories of a particular nation. And as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, for the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I like to call this verse number 56 of the Brahma Samhita as the national anthem of the Golokvasi. Shriya Kantaha Kantaha Parama Purushaha Kalpataravo Dhruma Bhumi Chintamani Ganamai Toyam Amrutam Katha Ganam Natyam Gamana Picha Vamshi Priya Sakhi Chidananda Jyoti Paramapitada Swadhyam Picha Sayatra Shirabdi Surabhibhyascha Sumahan Nimesharthakyo va Prajati na yatrapi samaya Bhaje Shweta Deepam Tamahamiha Golokamitiyam Vidantaste Santaha Shiti Viralacharaha Katipaye. What a beautiful, long verse, long national anthem, better than the Janaganamana, or what is that? Oh Canada, or what is that word, that national anthem of the United States? Nothing compared to that. Each and every word in this national anthem of Golok Vrindavan describes the qualities of Golok Vrindavan, the dham, the soil, the trees, even the attendants, like the flute, the cows, the rivers, the ocean of milk. Sri Krishna, the supreme paramour, served by so many different gopis, and where time comes to a standstill. And that Shwetadeep, that's so much effulgent dweep, it's like an island, Golok Vrindavan. It is so effulgent that all the effulgence that is emanating from Golok Vrindavan, even the, excuse me, Haribol, even the topmost of the yogis cannot get a glimpse of that Golok Vrindavan. They only perhaps get after Spantastu Koti Satvatsara Sampragamyo Vayorathapi Manaso Muni Pungavana So Api Asti Yat Prapadasimnya Chintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. After sitting in meditation doing pranayam for thousands of years, forget about us. We go to some yoga studio, we learn some pranayam, we do it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that Kapal Bhati, this, that, keeps you fit. But that yoga that takes you, connects you to Sri Krishna is real yoga. Yoga means to connect. So those yogis who are able, even today it is said that there are certain yogis who are sitting in the Himalayas and they are there in the higher planetary systems who meditate for thousands and thousands of years, but they only get the darshan of the effulgence of the spiritual world, or the effulgence that emanates from the toe of Sri Krishna. So can you believe that how much effulgence should be there in each and every living entity who is so pure? That is why it is known as Shwetadeep. Shwet means pure, white, transcendental. It is so bright because everybody there is full of brightness. They have a special aura. This is Golok Vrindavan. And that is why Brahmaji says, Bhaje Shweta Deepam Iha. This Iha means this. Bhaje means I worship. Shweta Deepa. This Golok Vrindavan. Bhaje Shweta Deepam Tamaham Iha. Golokamitiham. This Golok Vrindavan. Vidantaste Santa Siti Viralachara Kative. Those pure Vaishnavas, even wherever they are, even when they are here or wherever they are preaching like Prabhupada, going all over the world. Bhuvi Grinantija, Burida Jana. They are always meditating on that Golok Vrindavan Dham. Bhaje Shweta Deepam Tamamiya Golokamitiyam Vidantaste Santaha Shiti Virala Chara Katipahe. Those Santas, those pure Vaishnavas, they are constantly meditating on that Golok Vrindavan, on that Nandanandan, on all those transcendental activities of Golok Vrindavan. That is Tede Brahma Hridayadi Kavai. This verse is amazing. We can go on for a whole month. As this manifests within the heart spontaneously. I'm sharing this with you all. And this is somewhere or the other you will find them as you examine Prabhupada's books, as you examine the Goswami's books. It's all there. As you examine Lord Brahma's prayers. Bhaje Shweta Deepam Tamaham. So that is so important, to receive everything as it is. Otherwise, what is the point? Somebody may say that you are God, you don't know. And all these things that you're seeing the sofa, you're seeing the chair, you're seeing the computer, you're going to the temple, you're worshipping Krishna, or you're worshipping Ganesh Ji or Durga Devi, and the persons, or your father, your mother, all these things that you're seeing, a horse, or you're seeing a camel. This is all illusion. There is no form. Everything is nirgun. So this is their conclusion. And that is the problem. People consider a certain level of spirituality as the ultimate, where they think that now I have reached. Just like a 10th standard student thinks that, oh, I have finished my PhD. And he starts patting himself on the back, and then he starts preaching the same concept to everybody else. And they also start believing, oh, that's it. The knowledge that we have received in the 10th grade is sufficient. And that is, or rather, the knowledge that they have received that is as good as somebody who receives knowledge in the 10th grade, they consider that as the topmost knowledge of a PhD. That's where they are wrong. So the point here is that Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Mohiyanti Yat Suraya. So next two words, very, very wonderful. What can I say? Muhyanti, moha. The word moha comes, muhyanti, moha, all these comes from the same moha, illusion, muhyanti. Yat suraya. What does that? Oh Krishna, your creation is so fantastic, especially this material world. And even the spiritual world, there are two components here, very, very amazing components of Muhyanti Yasurya, which I will share the higher component at a later time. But let me first share the most common and well understood meaning of muhyanti. Muhyanti means to be illusioned in this material world. So, what is the illusion that we have in this material world? Because this material world has got the three gunas, and I explained that. What are those three gunas? The mode of ignorance is known as tamogun, the mode of passion is known as rajogun, and the mode of goodness is known as satogun. Guna, I've explained the meaning. Guna means a rope. Guna also means qualities, but guna in Sanskrit means a rope. Rope is meant for tying, and this rope of triguna of tamo, rajo, and or tamo, rajo, and sato, the ignorance, passion, and goodness ties the jiva in this material world due to the illusion it creates. And what is the topmost illusion that it creates? That I am this body. I am this body. Everybody, all of us, no matter what, very, very few persons who are of a highly realized stature, who are of a madhyam uttam adhikari, they have gone beyond their bodily state. It is extremely difficult. That is why Krishna made the Bahushanam, Manushyanam, Sahasrasu, Kaschit Yadati Siddhai. So one of the siddhis is to go beyond the bodily concept, to completely realize. See, one thing is information. Second thing is understanding that information. And third thing is the realization. So, most of us in this world, in this samsar, do not have even the Vedic information that I am a spirit soul. So that is why institutions like Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON and many other bona fide institutions, whether it is the Sri Sampradaya or the Rudra Sampradaya, etc., that philosophy preaching is very important. And that is one of the things that I must give credit to our movement of ISKCON. They have given so much wonderful stress on philosophy. A lot of other preachers are there. They do not concentrate too much on philosophy. That is what we have found, because from our childhood we have been interested in philosophy. I'm talking from my practical experience. If I'm wrong, I ask for forgiveness. But from my practical experience, I'm not talking about anybody else's experience. I've seen so many people go to the temple, go worship a particular deity or a particular faith, whatever they are. But it is mostly out of sentiment, not much out of philosophy, or not much out of understanding. It is mostly blind faith. Let's put it that way. So one of the good things about the Mahaprabhu's line and Rupa Goswami and the six Goswamis, they have given, like Jiva Goswami, he gave the Shada Sandarbhas, the six different philosophies on the Jiva, on Krishna, on Bhagwan, on the Atma, and all that, Prakriti, all the different, six different, and he has given so much details and details about the philosophy, very detailed philosophy, so much in depth. And Prabhupada has put it all on a platter through his purports, whether it is in Bhagavad Gita or in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we do not, Prabhupada mentioned that religion without philosophy is pure sentimentalism. And philosophy without religion is that will lead to speculation, or it will lead to dry knowledge, which will make one a Mayavadi or a Brahmavadi or a Jnani, and that bhakti element will not come. So there has to be a wonderful balance there, and that only can be obtained when we receive this information and when we are surrendered to souls who are pure within their hearts and have received this information as it is. Tene Brahma Hridaya Muhyanti. So coming back to Muhyanti, illusion. This illusion is created in this material world. That is the job of Maya Devi. That is the job of Durga Devi to do that. And that is why she is actually given that authority by Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Suchara. It is under my guidance, Prakriti or Durga Devi, she actually conducts herself in the material world. Even Brahmaji mentions that in the Brahma Samhita. What is that verse? Chayavayasya bhavanani vivarti durga ichha anurupamas api yas Chayavayasya bhavanani bibarti Durga Ichha Anurupamasi Chachestate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Durga Devi, under the instructions of Krishna, who is the Chaya, Krishna is the Kaya, or Radharani is the Kaya, rather, she is the real object, and Durga Devi is her shadow in the material world. So Chayavya Yasya Bhavanani Bibardi Durga. This Tribhuvan, Bhavanani means this Tribhuvan, Bhuvan, this fort has been guarded by Durga Devi. Chayavya Yasya Bhavanani Bibardi Durga. Ichha anurupam api cha cheshtate sa, and she acts according to your ichha, according to your desire, O Krishna. Govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. I offer my respectful obeisances to the original being, Govinda, who is the source of everything. Tamaham bhajami. So Brahmaji prays like that. So in this material world, Maya is very strong, and Maya makes us think what we are not. The word Maya in Sanskrit, if I translate that into English, Ma means not and Ya means this. It's a combination of two words. Ma plus Ya equals Maya. Ma means not, and Ya means this. So what is not? Jo nahi hai. What is not? That is called Maya. So when I think that I am this body, I am Gujarati, I am Canadian because I have a Canadian passport, or I am American because I have an American passport, or I am Indian because I was born in India, I have an Indian passport, because I was born in a Punjabi family, I am Punjabi vare, Sat Sri Akal ji, I am Punjabi. So this is all on a bodily concept. It is nothing but upadhi. Again, this verse comes to my mind. Sarvopadi vinurmaktam tat paratena nirmalam risikena risikesha sevanam tat bhakti ruttam. When one goes beyond these upadhis, this upadhi is created. Upadhi means a big problem, not small problem. Upadhi. This upadhi, it's a big problem. Coming back again and again, again and again in this material world is a huge problem. So that is an upadhi. And that upadhi is created due to that illusion, Maya. And this Maya is making us think that I am the boss. You're not listening to me. I am this, I am that. I am the temple president. What do you think? You should listen to me, otherwise you're out, my way or the highway. So even somebody who is working or supposed to be working as a temple president thinks like that, then he's also under Maya. That's what I was trying to say. That even after coming to a spiritual life, we are still under the illusion of Maya. And let us not think like that. One time in Bombay, Srila Prabhupada, like I mentioned many times before, Prabhupada always, early in the morning, after translating his books, he never slept at night. He used to usually, his thing was like between 11 to 12:30, he used to sleep for an hour and a half. And at 1:32 a.m., he used to wake up every night. And within the calm of the night, because during the day it was not possible for him to do this huge task of translating all these books. Can you imagine 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam? We are still stuck on the second line of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada translated 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam word to word, and then the translation of the actual verse, and then giving a purport. You should read the first purport of Srila Prabhupada and the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam, the introduction of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It runs into several pages. It is like almost a whole chapter. And like that, Prabhupada wrote small and big books, total over 110 or 115 some books. So he used to do that at night. And then after that, he used to, after translating the books for a major section of that night, early morning, then he used to chant his holy, the holy name, the rounds. And after chanting the holy name, like maybe in the Brahma Muhurat between 4:30 to 6 a.m., and then he used to go out for a morning walk. So in one of the morning walks in Bombay, Juhu Beach, this is Giriraj Maharaj, one of his sannyas disciples from California. Actually I take that back. He's from Chicago. I had the opportunity to serve him a little bit. He was the father, he was the son of a great judge, very big judge, Supreme Court judge of Illinois. And one time when he came to the Chicago temple, he gave lectures and everything. So he some service was required. So he actually asked me to drive him to his father's home in Glencoe, Illinois. So I took him there. And then, I still remember that pastime where his father was so rich and in one sense so arrogant, of course, being a huge, big judge, in Illinois Supreme Court, very, very rich. And Glencoe is not a very ordinary suburb. It's a very, very all expensive villas and all. So uh, when this Giriraj Swami, previously a brahmachari, he had left home and went and joined Prabhupada. Giriraj Swami's father, the judge, I forget his name, he came to Prabhupada with a blank check that give me my son back and put whatever dollar amount you want. And just like we see that in the Bollywood movies, blank check, take it, write your amount. So this is what he did. And Prabhupada said, take him, he's yours if he wants to go. And Giriraj Swami said, no, he's my real father. He pointed out to Prabhupada, and his father, the Supreme Court judge of Illinois, could not do anything. He just was aghast. Why? Because Prabhupada gave everything as it is with love. That was his quality. He had nothing that he wanted from people. He wanted to give. The same thing that he had told the sadhus of the Ramakrishna Matha, that I am here to give something. Such an important thing that we should try to realize that the potency of such sadhus. So anyways, so Giriraj Swami, he recalls that that while they were walking and the Juhu beach, and Prabhupada always used to sometimes just chant the holy name, and a lot of his disciples used to just follow him behind him, and Prabhupada would sometimes stop and speak on some Krishna conscious topic. So, and then sometimes Prabhupada would entertain questions from his disciples during that morning walk. So at one time, Giriraj Swami, in his own words, the essence being that he said, Prabhupada, sometimes we are in Maya, so, what should we do? Something to that extent. So Prabhupada immediately stopped Giriraj Swami and he said, and believe me, he is a sannyas disciple, not some brahmachari or some first initiated or second Brahman initiated, already who has received the third initiation, which is the highest in one sense in the sampradaya, which is sannyas. So he's telling his sannyas disciple, what do you mean? Prabhupada said, sometimes you are in Maya. Remember, you are always in Maya. And Giriraj Swami felt like a whole mountain crash on him. He writes that Prabhupada smashed my ego. So sometimes when we come to the spiritual life and because we have read a few books or we have chanted or we have gone to the temple so many years and we have done so much seva, we think we are bereft of Maya. And I think about it. When somebody dies in your family, then at that time, show me where is that Maya. Then you stop crying. If you can stop on holding your tears, and if you can show a nice smile on your face and thinking and really knowing where that jiva has gone, or as far as, and if that even that very basic verse of the Bhagavad Gita, if that one has completely realized, not known, not knowledge, not information, not knowledge, not understanding, but realization, that where Krishna says that one should not lament over the dead, or what is that verse? He says that Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptihi dhiras tatra namuyati. A sober person does not lament over the dead of the living. One doesn't. Na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu brahma bhuta prasanna atma. Krishna further says in another chapter that one who is fully realized, brahma bhuta prasanna atma, is always happy. And he's never lamenting after anything or nor hankering after anything, and looks upon everybody equally. So let us be very realistic. Whether one is in the sadhu vesh, everybody should know their limits and behave accordingly. Then Krishna is pleased. We should admit that we have our limitations. So what? We are not like Prabhupada. We should not feel that because we are able to speak like that, speak from his books, we have become, because people offer us honor, we have become of that stature. Then we are the biggest. That is Maya. Muhyanti, Yat Surya. Yat Surya means devotees. And that is why I am coming to each and every word here. Muhyanti means to put somebody into illusion. Yat Surya. Yat, these. Surya. Surya. Sur means devotees. Su means good. And Ra means one who is who is kind of, one who has raga or attached to good things. One of the meanings of the word sura. So sura means a devotee. Sura means a good person, somebody who is very good at heart, somebody who is always good at doing good things, attached to good things. And and those who are in the mode of goodness are known as suras, especially the Devi Devtas. So they are known as suras. So let us say, even those we call those persons that we meet in our common day-to-day experience devotees, right? That we meet in the temple. So let us talk about us, ourselves itself. When it comes to that, are we not under the spell of Maya? We are muhyanti yat surya. Even though one may be even on a platform of a sannyasi, or one may be a temple president for the last 30 years, or one may be a disciple of such a great personality, Maya is very strong. One should not underestimate the power of Maya. Uh, Slowly, the effect of Maya is weaning out. But to think that we are bereft of the effect of Maya, and then that also is Maya. That is also an illusion. Thinking that I am beyond illusion. Aruva kruchena vimukta manena. Brahmaji says that those personalities who think they are vimukta, they are liberated. Patanti adaha, they fall down even more rigorously. So we have to be humble, knowing our capacity, what we are. But we should always respect all devotees. We should always think they're always better than us. That is why we address them as Prabhu. That is why Prabhupada and our Gaudiya Acharyas have explained that. Why we should address the others as Prabhu. Because they are our masters. Some or the other, some we are hearing or we are being engaged in the seva of Krishna, or perhaps we will be engaged, or they are engaged in the service of Krishna. However big or small they are, we have to recognize the good qualities in those persons. And because they have got good qualities, they are our master, we are their servant. The das concept is a very, very important and an eternal concept that not only starts here as a neophyte, as a beginner devotee, it will, that attitude and uh, that mood will even remain after perfection, after liberation. Even when one is in Golok Vrindavan, one will always remain. When Mahaprabhu mentions Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayo Das Anudas Anudas, what does that mean? That Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayo means actually is indicating Radharani here. And the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are Das Anudas of Radharani. That, of course, Krishna is the Gopi Bharta in one sense. He is the one who is actually fulfilling the desires of the gopis. But Gopi Bhartu means also those gopis or those manjaris whose desires are fulfilled by Radharani. Because she is engaging out of pure compassion. Karuna Kurumahi, Karuna Bharite, Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite, Radhe Jai Jaya, Madhava Daite. She is so dear to Krishna, Radharani, that she is full of compassion and she can give so many things to the devotee. And that is why even one who has attained the highest perfection in Madhurya Rasa as a Manjari or as a Gopi, even they are constantly under the mood of Das Anudas Anudas Anudas. So this Prabhu is meant for that. But we have to examine ourselves. That is the point. Faults we should find. We all have that tendency of finding fault. We all have it. All have it. We cannot say we don't have it. Then how we can make use of that tendency, how we can make use of that quality? We make use of finding fault in ourselves, not in finding fault to others. Unless one is on a preaching platform, one is given that license temporarily. Only so. So, supposing if somebody is going to be speaking Shastra or speaking on behalf of the Parampara, yes, he can make certain statements. But once that person gets off the Vyasasana, then one has to be extremely careful in how one is conducting himself, especially whether then at that time one has no right to criticize anybody. Nobody. If you want to criticize yourself. Find all the faults that we have in us. Therefore, the other person is always better than us. That is the siksha, that is the proper system that we should understand. So, Tene Brahma, Muhyanti, that illusion is there even within the devotee community. Uh, and that is the reason why the devotees, even after taking to this process, sometimes 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, we commit offenses. Those offenses are committed. We commit aparadh. anasar, when we commit offenses, because we think we are powerful. Somehow or the other, maybe we have been given the position by the congregation of a particular temple to lead the temple, to lead the congregation. We become the temple president or the secretary or the treasurer. And if we start abusing our position, like some people, they even cheat the temple out of money. They use it for their own personal sense gratification. They buy big cars, they buy better, good clothes. All this out of, they travel first class from one city to another with the temple money. No, who gave you all the license? Sorry, sir, it is not done. Think about Prabhupada's lifestyle. And that is why I'm sitting on the Vyasasana. That is why I have the right to speak so, regardless of who is listening to this katha. This katha is being transmitted in all over the world, perhaps in different parts, and then it will be transmitted. It will be available on the media. But I am thinking about, as it is, what Sukdev Goswami is saying. Sukdev Goswami is saying in the second canto, when we will visit, what have the rivers stopped giving waters? That those who have taken sannyas, that they don't need to live a life of comfort. They can go to the river and simply quench their thirst. Have the trees stop giving shade? That some of the sannyasis are building big bhavans and big dharmashalas in the name of making hotels. We go to so many tirthas, whether it is Haridwar or Vrindavan. All these big kathakars, they are using the donations that are given by the kathas by making ashrams, AC kamra, the AC hall costing 3,000 rupees, and the deluxe AC 5,000 rupees, and this and that, making it just like non-different from the what you call the Taj group or the Oberoi group. It's in the name of religion. No. It is not done like that, my dear sirs. I am talking about Sukdev Goswami right here. He's talking about have the streets been bereft of the torn clothes that have been left behind or rejected by the society, that the sannyasis cannot pick them up and use those rags to cover themselves. So like this, Prabhupada lived a very simple life. He used to, when he came from the West, Prabhupada already had hundreds of thousands of dollars that people had donated out of the love. All people like Giriraj Swami, coming from a rich family, they had received inheritances from their parents, and they gave every penny to Prabhupada. Like Brahmanand, Bruce, he was a teacher. And in the very first batch in 26 Second Avenue in New York, the two brothers, Bruce and Greg, they used to bring their salary to Prabhupada because they needed some money for the bhoga, for the preparation of items, basic items, rice, dal, chapati, that Prabhupada used to offer to Radha Govinda, Radha Krishna, and then offer it to all the people who came to the storefront. So there were some expenses. There was a rent that was attached to that storefront. There was a rent to Prabhupada's studio that was attached, that was behind the 26 Second Avenue in New York. So all these hippies, whatever they were, they used to come and give Prabhupada money, the whole salary. That much love they had for Prabhupada, because Prabhupada radiated their love, because they knew Prabhupada would never abuse. When Prabhupada went to India after his first visit to the West, and then he took some of his disciples with him, and then at Mathura station, he needed to go to Vrindavan, to Ramanreti. He got off the station and he started walking. And at that time, there were no auto rickshaws like we have right now, or taxis. Rarely some motor cars were available. Not to say that they were not, but very expensive. Not everywhere. At that time, there were tangas, or what you call horse carriages. So Prabhupada would come out of the station, walk 2 kilometers into Mathura city, and then he would approach one chariot, the tanga, that horse carriage, and say, "Take me to Vrindavan." And and then he would sometimes even haggle, and then they would sit, and then they would take, and then one of the disciples asked Prabhupada, so there were like 10, 15 of those horse carriages right outside the station. Why didn't we take one from there? Why did we have to walk 2 kilometers inside the city? So Prabhupada said, they charge double. You know that? This is Krishna's money. To save 50 paisa at that time, Prabhupada walked 2 kilometers. This is a true sadhu. Every penny belongs to Krishna. And then that is why Lakshmi Devi will come folded to such persons. Those who abuse the disciples' money that is given by going in first class travel, or buying expensive laptops and expensive watches, and wearing like those crispy, what do you call, silk robes that are expensive, costing like almost 1,000 rupees a meter or 2,000 rupees a meter, and just their what do you call, tailoring cost another 1,000 rupees. That is not sannyas ashram, unfortunately, in the name. Yes, Prabhupada said that that we should all be first class devotees, but first class means dress up nicely. You do not dress up in dirty clothes, so that when you're going out for preaching, you're acceptable. Otherwise you will look like a beggar and somebody will run away from you. The first class means first class in behavior, first class in your transcendental knowledge. The first class doesn't mean that first class has been translated into travel by first class. No, people are imitating Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhupada was a very old man. Prabhupada slept 1.5 hours. How many of us can only sleep 1.5 hours? Prabhupada needed a massage because he was already in his 80s, and he was in 75, 80 years old, and he was only sleeping 1.5 hours day and night. He was helping in administration, building temples, speaking katha, going on morning walks. All these things were required to keep that body fit. And not only that, beyond that, for those who even understand this a little bit more, Prabhupada allowed that so that the devotees will get benefit of serving a Vaishnava. That is the highest benefit. When they serve a Vaishnava, when somebody even offers something to Prabhupada, it is to the benefit of that Vaishnava, not to the benefit. Prabhupada is from Golok, he already has Radha Krishna. What can we give him? What can we give personalities like Srila Prabhupada or Vaishnavas like him? We are foolish if we think that we can give to Prabhupada. That is illusion. Muhyanti yat surya. The devotee community is also under illusion when we think like that. And what to talk about different demigods? Muhyanti yat surya. Even the demigods or the Devi Devtas who are considered to be in a very sattvic platform. But still, sattvic platform means they are also a part of the three gunas or the Satogun. And even devotees like Lord Shiva, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, the topmost Vaishnava, devotees like Lord Brahma, devotees like Lord Indra, they are also put into illusion. Muhyanti yat surya. Nobody can understand Krishna so perfectly. Even the suras, those who are in the mode of goodness, they are also put under illusion. It reminds me one time, of course, this is on a very transcendental platform. One should not misunderstand some of these pastimes. For example, I will quote how Lord Shiva was illusioned. Muhyanti, how he was under moha or under maya. One time, during the Amrut Manthan, during the the churning of the ocean, the nectar. You all know that story, that pastime, where there was a great tug of war between the demons and the devatas, the suras and the asuras. Asur means the opposite of the persons who are in the mode of goodness, and suras means one who believes in Supreme Lord Krishna, who believes in the Shastra, who believes in the Vedas, and they act their lives accordingly. But still, that doesn't mean that they are completely beyond illusion. Muhyanti Surya. So, at that time, during the churning of that Amrut Manthan, finally, when the Amrut or the nectar came out of the ocean, it was gathered in one pot. And now there was a big fight amongst the asuras and the suras, the demons and the devatas, that who will have the nectar first, who will have the nectar. And at that time, it was Sri Krishna himself who came in a very beautiful woman's role as the Mohini Swarup. And she came and she was so beautiful. So then all the Devi Devatas, all the Devatas and all the demons, they all got so much captivated by the beauty of this beautiful woman. And they said, okay, what we will do, she will decide. And she with her beautiful charm, and that is actually Krishna, disguised in this beautiful form, charming lady. She said, you all sit down in a row, and I will give a nectar to each and everyone, little bit. Everyone will get it. Don't fight. You all sit down. And they said, yes. So they all listened to this beautiful lady. And this is what happens even in today's world. Today, if we see a very beautiful lady or a woman, 50 eyes will start rolling back and forth. And that is the nature of the material world. One time, there's another short incident talking about the beauty of a woman. There was a very old man. He was just about to die, and all his family members were around him, and his eyes were dim, and they were shutting. They were barely open, like maybe 10% open, and he was coughing, and he was like, suffering. There was so much pain. All the different noises emanated from his mouth, and at that time, in that environment, one of the family members, uh, daughters, or somebody in the family, very very beautiful girl came into that room, and she joined the crowd. And as soon as the eyes fell on that beautiful girl, this old man's eyes that were closing, diminishing little by little, from 10% to 5%, they became wide open, just seeing the beauty of that girl. So this is Muhyanti. It puts us into illusion. So the Devi Devatas were put under illusion, and the Asuras were put under illusion by Mohini Swarup. And then, of course, because the Devi Devatas are Suras, they are actually following the Vedas and everything. And then naturally, Krishna is inclined towards them first. So she started giving the nectar to them. And then Rahu, seeing that trick, what he did is he disguised himself as a Devata and sat in the line of the demigods in the Devata. And he had got the opportunity to take the nectar first before the rest of the demons. And then when Krishna noticed that, he cut off the Rahu's head later on, but Rahu still lives because he still got the little taste of that nectar, that Amrit. So anyways, that in the 12th, in the, I think it was in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, later on when we get the opportunity, hopefully, it is mentioned that in the, I think it is in the chapter 12, 8th canto, that Lord Shiva, one time while speaking to Krishna or Narayana, he said that I heard that you are so beautiful in the Mohini Swarup. Can you show me that, please show me that Mohini Swarup? So uh, Krishna kind of, craftily smiled and said, do you really want to see it? So Shivji said, yes. Okay, Krishna being Bhaktavatsal, he said, okay, I'll show you my Mohini Swarup. And complying with the wish of a devotee, Lord Shiva, he showed the Mohini Swarup to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva got so enchanted with the beauty of Mohini Swarup. Actually, even Parvati Devi was right there. In spite of that, he was completely enchanted seeing the symptoms of that. And then finally, Krishna inspired him to control himself. Otherwise, it would have looked very, very awkward for Lord Shiva to kind of, leave Mother Parvati's side and follow a beautiful girl. So like that, there are so many. Even Lord Brahma himself, one time it is said that the senses are so strong that he actually followed his own daughter, because his own mature daughter uh, became a very beautiful girl, and one time he could not control himself. So that is why it is said that one should look at every woman as one's mother, except one's wife. That is why in our movement, Mahaprabhu's movement, in ISKCON, we call the male people, everybody, a Prabhu, our masters, and every woman, we address them as Mata, or Maya, or Mata, except our wife. Because even if it's a little girl, if we have that mood of Ma, then we will never ever get enchanted with any other bodily features. So that is why we always address Mataji. Even if she could, even one is a 70-year-old man, a devotee, and if he sees a 14-year-old girl, he will always say, Hare Krishna, my Mataji. Like that. That is the way. Prabhupada also, although being such a Mahabhagavat, even at that cross that age, grandfatherly, he used to, ask one of his disciples always to sit with him when one of the lady disciples used to come and visit him. Sometimes the lady disciples used to want to get some guidance from Prabhupada. So they had some certain questions, maybe of their own family or related to their grihastha life with their husband, relationship with their husband, or some confusion about their duties. So they used to take guidance from Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada would definitely, Prabhupada is way beyond the bodily concept. He's beyond illusion. He is not Muhyanti. He is not under the illusion that I am this body. He looks everybody as the Ansha of Krishna, as a part and parcel of Sri Krishna. He looks upon everybody like that. So, but in spite, just to teach a lesson, he used to tell whatever, please stay back. One should never, especially a sannyasi, should never stay alone with a woman. Citing Shastra, citing examples from Shastra, he used to lead by example. Even his own sister, Pishima, in Bangla, you all call it Pishi. Pishima means Mosi. So all the devotees used to call Prabhupada's sister Pishima, Mosi. And she used to sometimes get the opportunity when Prabhupada visited Kolkata or Bombay. Prabhupada, she used to love to cook for Prabhupada. So she used to personally cook for Prabhupada and the Bengali items. And Prabhupada used to really, after offering it to Krishna, relish. And when sometimes when Pishima entered the room, he used to even tell, you should sit one of his own sister, who is also almost that age, maybe 2-3 years difference, not much. Old woman, old man. But in spite of that, he was doing everything as it is, following the rules. He said that I am a sannyasi. I should not stay with any woman alone. So how many of us are following like that? And or if we are reaching that stage, we should be. If we are, for example, sometimes there are devotee Matajis who ask us, for some favor, like, we go to the temple or something, we have to give them a ride. Then what we should do, the proper etiquette is, if the back seat is empty, ask that Mataji, please, Mataji, can you give her the respect? Can you sit in the back, please? Unless and until there are more participants in the car or travelers with you, then if there is a male, have the male sit in front. And if there are females, have the females sit in the back. This is Vaishnava etiquette. This is the proper thing, so that our senses will never get the wrong message. Even the most prasabham manaha. My friend Dr. Nanpran Das, probably I can remember this one word from that verse, that the senses are so strong. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, and I remember this word, prasabham manaha. It is so strong that it can basically, the most controlled persons can lose control. And so if you remember that verse, maybe you can, my Nanpan Prabhu is my shloka loka. Loka means a planet, and he remembers more shlokas than me. So you can probably at the end of the class try to remember that verse from Bhagavad Gita if you can remember. I remember that particular word though, prasabham manaha, the conversation between Arjuna and Sri Krishna, that it is so difficult to control the mind. Even it is easier to control the wind. And those who are also the most important choice making, those who are very well controlled, even they sometimes, they cannot control themselves. So Muhyanti Yasurya. So Lord Shiva, like that, became illusion. Brahmaji became illusion. Brahmaji also became illusion in the 10th canto. There is a Brahma Vimohan Leela. I think it is the 23rd chapter, where Lord Krishna is the supreme. Nandan is a 5-year-old boy. After killing the demon Aghasur, then they all wanted to sit down in that Kamyavan and enjoy their picnic. They had brought their lunches. That was the custom. The Gwalbals, all the coward boys, sat together for their lunch picnics. Whatever they had brought from their mothers, they would all open up their tiffins and share it with each other. But during that incident, what happened that at that time, all the cows that were grazing close by, somehow or the other, they got distracted, the cows, to more greener and deeper pastures. So they moved away from the Gwalbals. And so Krishna says, don't worry, I will go get them. You all don't worry, start opening your tiffins and start eating. It's pretty late. The sun is way up. It's past lunchtime. So Krishna, like that, leaves the crowd of the young boys, his friends, and the Gwalbals, and he goes behind to collect those cows. And in the meantime, Lord Brahma, just a few minutes ago, when the tiffins were opened, and Krishna was actually fighting with Madhu Mangal, eating a half-eaten laddu, struggling from Madhu Mangal's hands and trying to pull out that half-eaten laddu from Madhu Mangal's mouth. And he was struggling. And then after he finally managed to take that half laddu, and then he popped it in his mouth. So Brahmaji was watching that. And Brahmaji says, what kind of God is that? That is fighting over a small piece of laddu, and that too, that is uchista, that too, that is already half eaten by somebody. So, like that, an unclean half laddu, how can this be God? So, Muhyanti Yat Surya, Krishna put even Brahmaji into that delusion by putting a doubt on Lord Brahma's head that how can this person be Krishna? How can he be the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So, like that, to test that he is the Supreme Lord, what Lord Brahma did in the Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Krishna went out to collect those cows in the deeper pastures, at that time, Lord Brahma, he actually kidnapped all the coward boys, put them in a cave for 1 year, and he also kidnapped all the cows and the calves that were grazing all over the forest of Kamyavan at that time, and he actually kidnapped them as well. So now Krishna, of course, a 5-year-old boy, but he is Purna Purushottam Bhagwan. We should never forget that. He is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is Janmadi Yasya Yato Anvayat Itaratascha Artheshwa Abhigya Itaratascha Artheshwa. We explained that. Abhigya. Abhigya means he knows everything directly and indirectly. So knowing what Brahma did, what Krishna did with his immense potency, he is Yogeshwar. Yatte Yogeshwar, last verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Wherever there is Yogeshwar, there is always victory. And wherever Krishna is there, there is always victory. So Krishna made this a very wonderful, victorious pastime out of this whole thing of the kidnapping of his friends and his dear cows and cows. What he did is he produced exactly identical himself, like as many friends he had as the coward boys. He multiplied them, and exactly those features, those clothes, those ornaments. And he also expanded himself into those cows that were missing, that were kidnapped, and those cows, Mridangamukhi, Gange, Jamune, all those different favorite cows of Krishna. They were Kalindi, Pishangi, all those different cows that had different colors. Mridangamukhi, one had a face like of a mridanga, so she was called Mridangamukhi. So Krishna took the shape of those cows that were there. Kali, Pili, one was known as Kali because so dark, one was yellowish, so she was called Pili, one was known as Dholi, so he called Dholi, all this. So he took these shapes and the form, the colors of those cows and calves. And then when it was time to go home, all those coward boys who are Krishna, all those calves who is Krishna, all those coward boys who is Krishna, went back to their respective homes. Of course, there's a very, very deep secret behind this Brahma Vimohan Leela. And Brahmaji sees that from above. He says, I have locked up all the originals. Now he has produced more, exactly identical. And I see that they've gone home. The cows are giving more milk now when they to their calves. And the lady gopis are even showing more affection. The gopas are even showing more affection to the boys after they've come home more than unusual. And the gopis, when they're feeding their boys, their more milk is emanating from their chest, and the boys are even enjoying more milk from the breast of these gopis. It's an amazing sight. It is out of just amazement. Brahmaji became vimohit. He became so illusioned. Tene Brahma hridaya adi kavaye muhyanti yat surya. Muhyanti yat surya. He, even a sura like Brahmaji, who is the first created being, who has been given all this transcendental knowledge, even then he was put into illusion. And then when Brahmaji sees that, it is said that it was for almost 1,000 years this Leela occurred. Every day, all those boys who are Krishna gathered at Nanda Bhavan. Every day, Krishna went with them for cow herding. Every day they had their picnic. Every day those cows were having their in the pastures, feeding in the green pastures, and every day they came back, and every day for 1,000 years, celestial years, that love kept on growing and growing in the cows for their calves, and for the coward boys, the mothers and the fathers were very affectionate, like never seen before, and it kept on increasing. So then Brahmaji saw, and then Brahmaji realized what a big mistake he made, that yes, you are indeed that Govindamadi Purusham. So like that, Muhyanti Yasvaya, Lord Indra. Now, of course, there is a reason my Nanpran Prabhu must be thinking right now why Krishna did that. is because of, okay, I will tell the reason also, since I told so much of this katha, is even the cows sometimes were thinking when they saw Krishna being fed by Mother Yashoda, how nicely Mother Yashoda felt that bliss. And they were also thinking, the cows, that I wish I can feed Krishna with my udders, and more milk will flow through my udders. So that desire Krishna had noted. And when the time came right, he actually put Brahmaji under illusion to enact this particular Leela, so that he will kidnap all the cowherd boys and the calves, so that he could fulfill the desire of the cows, because cows wanted to feed Krishna. And not only that, for a short time, for 1000 celestial years. And also the same thing, when the gopis saw, when they visited Nanda Bhavan, Yashoda Bhavan, they saw Krishna blissfully, enjoying the milk of Mother Yashoda's breast. They were also thinking, I wish I can feed Krishna like this. Krishna is like an ocean. He's like a Sirsagar. And Mother Yashoda is also like a Sirsagar. They're both, complementing each other. How much they're in bliss while he's feeding, and how much in bliss is Mother Yashoda. I wish I could. And therefore, Krishna, use this pastime to fulfill the desire of all those gopis who felt like that. So Krishna, that is what Kam. Kam means this transcendental desire. The transcendental desire Krishna fulfills. And for those who are inclined, and those who are very, very nishchaya, who are very, very much bent that I must, determined to get it, then Krishna will certainly fulfill those desires for our benefit. So that is the Brahma Vimohan Leela. Muhyanti Yasuraya, great personality like Brahma. Indra, one incident about Indra we all know very well, that how he was so angered because Nanda Baba and all the Vrajvasis were all prepared. Diwali day. Actually, Govardhan Puja started only after Krishna, when he actually grew up to be approximately about 5 years old. And prior to that, on Diwali day, it was Indra Puja. There was no Govardhan Puja. But Krishna convinced his father, he convinced the Vrajvasis that, why are you worshipping Indra? Indra, the Indra is giving us rains, and because of the rains, we are getting the crops, the grass. Because of the grass, the cows are being fed so well. And because of the cows are being fed so well, we are getting so much nice milk. And we are Vaishyas by nature. We are cowherd people. And we make so many different, we send milk, we sell milk to Mathura, we sell yogurt, we sell the sweets, we sell the makhan, the clarified butter, and so many things we are selling out of the milk products. And the source is because if there is no rain, if Indra is going to be dissatisfied with us, then he won't pour rain, and then our crops will be destroyed. There will be no grass, and our animals, our cows, will die out of hunger. So that was the logic, and Krishna very nicely and expertly, goes into that Leela. That is, I think, in the 28th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, where the Indra Leela is there. The 27th chapter, where Lord Indra, he becomes extremely angry when everybody's convinced that, oh no, whatever Krishna says we shall do. Krishna says, see, actually it is Govardhan who is providing the nourishment, all the different fruits and vegetables and even the grass and everything. So we should be worshipping Govardhan. Like that, to make a long Leela short, maybe we can do this Leela during Diwali time when Govardhan Puja comes. We can speak on this Govardhan Leela. So like that, he convinces Nanda Baba, and everybody loves Krishna so much that they kind of get mesmerized by Krishna's explanations. And he says, okay. So he said, okay, so now we have already prepared so many items for Indra. Why don't we just offer it to Govardhan? Govardhan deserves everything. Let us offer it with love to Govardhan. So then they all make their offerings to Govardhan, and Indra is watching, and he's furious. And then he says, okay, I'm going to teach him a lesson. You don't know. You think this, and then at that time, due to Muhyanti Surya, when one becomes illusion, what is that verse in the Bhagavad Gita? Again, Nanpran Prabhuji, Shloka Loka. What is that? Kamat Krodhovi Jayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha, Krodhat Visha Vinivartate, Nirarasya. No. Sorry. See, I'm getting old. What is that verse? Kamat Krodhovi Jayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha. Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha, Smriti Vibhramahat Buddhi Vinasho, Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati. And prior to that, there is another 4 lines. Kamat krodho bhi jayate. Contemplating on the material objects. Dhayato vishaya pumsam sangaste upajayate sangat sanjayate kaman kamat krodho bhi jayate क्रोधात भवति सम्मोह क्रोधात भवति सम्मोह सम्मोह सम्मोहात स्मृति विभ्रम बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात प्रणश्यति. So when one contemplates on the material objects that I want this, when we have this deep desire, and if we don't get it, krodhat, that krodh emanates. We get angry. If we don't get even a small child, you try to, if the child wants a toy or something so badly, and if it is not attained, then the child throws a tantrum. The child becomes angry. Same thing happens to us. If we want something badly and we can't get it, then we become angry. So then what emanates? Krodh. The same thing happened out of illusion. A krodh emanated in Indra. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. And out of that krodha, one becomes illusion. Then at that time, even sometimes, when we are very angry, then sometimes we don't care who is in front of us, whether it is father, mother, brother, sister, best friend. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. And then smriti vibhramaha. Then our intelligence becomes destroyed. And when our intelligence becomes destroyed, buddhi nashat pranashyati, then our fall down happens. And similarly, the same sequence happened in Indra. Now he was illusioned due to his false pride, thinking that we are all above Krishna, thinking like that, I am the powerful one who is the rain giver. So many people think that, they have money, they have a very bad, nasty attitude that they display towards people. Hey, idara! Hey, I'm giving you this. Hey, I'm giving you that. Such attitudes, people, and even, so like that, same way, Indra exhibited, and he was put into illusion, Muhyanti Yutsura, and then he showered a torrential rain, and he sent the Shamantaka clouds that were well known for bursts and bursts of heavy rains, and even he sent the thunderbolt and etc. And he said, I'm going to destroy whole Vraj. All these Vrajvasis, they're not worthy. And then he wanted to destroy them all. This was so much pride had taken, so much delusion, so much illusion had occurred in Muhyanti Yatsuraya, the king of heaven. He had become delusioned like this. Can you believe that? So like this, and then then Krishna performs the wonderful Govardhan Leela, where he takes the entire Govardhan on his little teeny finger, and he holds that like an umbrella, and all the cows and the cowherd boys and the Vrajvasis and the gopis and all, they come under one roof. There's a secret for that too, but that will be for another time. Why that? Why Muhyanti Yasurya Indra was put into that delusion? But anyway, the point being that Muhyanti Yasurya. So what to talk about us? Even the greatest of the devotees and the demigods are put, like Lord Shiva, Indra, Brahma, great rishis like Saubhari Muni. Even he was put into illusion when he was meditating in the water, thinking he is such a great yogi. He sat in the water for thousands of years, for one kalpa, and he was meditating in the water. And when he saw 2 fish coming together in union, his immediately mind got agitated. So this is Muhyanti Yatsurya. So many examples are like that in the different leelas, that how we can get disillusioned. But Je Mam Prapadyante, one who surrenders unto me, Maya Tarantite. Do not fear. Krishna says that one will be able to cross Maya. But one who is going to surrender to Krishna? When we are humble. Shadanga Sharanagati Hoibe Jar, Tar Prarthna Sune Vrajendra Kumar. When one has fully surrendered to Sri Krishna with all the 6 angas. Last time we described in the appearance of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Sharanagati, the 6 angas of Sharanagati, the 6 branches of full surrender, of humility, dainya, atma nivedan, offering whatever we have to Krishna. Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichumura Arpilu Tuapade Nanda Kishore. We offer it to Sri Krishna, not thinking that, this is my house, or this is my car, or this is mine, or my bank balance. Jo Kichumur, whatever is mine, I offer to you, O Sri Krishna, hey Nanda Kishore, the young son of Nanda Maharaj. That is the Gopritya Varana. Krishna is always my provider. Avashya Raksibe Krishna Vishwasa Palan. Krishna will always protect me. I have full faith. Bhakti Anukulya Karya Karejo Svikar. Whatever is conducive to bhakti, we should always accept. And bhakti pratikula bhav, varjan angikar. Whatever is not conducive to bhakti, we should reject. So these are the 6 different angas of Sharanagati. Sharanga Sharanagati Hui Vichar. When one has all these 6 and then Tar Pratna Sune Vrajendra Kumar. Vrajendra Kumar will certainly listen to our prayers. Then you and ask whatever you want. You ask Vrajendra Kumar to do something, it is not possible that he will not do it for you if we have that bhav of Vrajendra Kumar. And a devotee will never ask anything material anyways. He knows that. And even by chance, even if he does, Krishna will fulfill that. Yogakshemam Mahamiham. So this is Muhyanti Yat Surya. Today we have only covered 2 words. So of the verse today, so what have we covered? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Janmadi Yasya Yato Anvayat Itaratascha Artheshva Abhigya Swarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Surya. Hare Krishna. So I will end here now. Next week, next Sunday, we will continue with Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimaya. The next line of this first verse of Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Brahmavata Gaudiya Sabha Acharya Guru Var Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarobhascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So I know today Anup Prabhu has excused himself, but Asim Prabhu, if you would like to go ahead and kind of,
okay,
open up the forum and, make your closing remarks.
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so thanks Prabhuji again for such a captivating session, and we are really fortunate to have you over the last few weeks. And so from today's session, I could gather 3 very important lessons. So the first lesson being the importance of cultivating the transcendental knowledge referred to in the Tene Brahma, and the seriousness with which we need to seriousness required for the same. So as you mentioned, as Nitya Baddha Jivas, one is bound to the material creation, and we keep coming back to these material realms to fulfill one's material desires. So as an intelligent person, one should cultivate transcendental desires, which will transport the jivas to the Vaikuntha lokas. And after having this good fortune to attain a human form, which is extremely rare in the 4.84 million species, we should always aspire to gain this transcendental knowledge. The second lesson that I could gather was that, as you mentioned, the transcendental knowledge must come in a disciplic succession, as Brahmaji received the knowledge from Sri Krishna. And you mentioned about the 4 bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas, the Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Nimbark Sampradaya, and Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. And ISKCON belongs to the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, which is directly in the disciplic chain from Brahmaji to Naradji, from Naradji to Vyasji, from Vyasji to I think Madhavendra Puri, and gradually to Lord Chaitanya, and then to His Grace Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, and then to Srila Prabhupada, which is, as you mentioned, 32nd in the line. So the knowledge should be gained in this disciplic succession. And last lesson that I think was important, which you mentioned, that one always needs to be always humble and never try to think that one is bereft of the illusion. So Muhyanti, which refers to illusion, and one of the greatest illusion is that one is the body and not the spirit soul. So even great sages and demigods are bewildered due to this illusion. So one needs always to be humble and never try to think that one is bereft of this Maya. The senses are so strong that even the best of the best can lose one's control. And as you gave the examples of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahmaji, and Lord Indra, where they even got bewildered. So I think these were the three important points which I could gather, and these would be
Very well remembered. I am so happy that you were able to recapitulate everything and all the important points you have. Thank you, Prabhuji.
no problem. And so thanks again, Prabhuji, and we'll open the forum now for questions.
Yes, so we have to unmute everybody. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Yes. Anybody has any questions, any reflections, anything that you all would like to share in relation to what we heard today? That would be very nice. Please go ahead and unmute yourself one at a time, please. Falgun Prabhu, would you like to ask anything or say something? You have to unmute yourself, Prabhuji.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
No problem.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, yeah, that's a amazing, wonderful lecture, Prabhu. I'm very blessed that I can get the chance to hear you.
What are your reflections?
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for your lecture. And no, that's a wonderful, Prabhu. Whatever you mentioned, whatever you said about the things about our sampradaya and even other sampradaya, and that's very impressive, Prabhu. Currently don't have any question. Nothing comes in my mind, but
okay,
definitely
no problem, Prabhu.
When other people are when you are talking other people, yeah, then I will
okay.
think about, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your input. Hare Krishna. Yes, Anand Pran Prabhuji, my Shloka Loka.
No, Prabhuji, no. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. I have dubbed you Shloka Loka. Without your permission, that's okay.
No, I don't remember. Today I will disappoint you, Prabhuji.
Arey Baba, don't worry. But anyways, the essence is what is important, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. That is the most important.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for such a treacherous elaboration of second line of first sloka, Mangalacharan. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your blessings, Hare Krishna. And thank you for your reflections. Anybody else? I have 3 phone numbers here. It would be nice if they can kind of introduce themselves, and because I don't know if they are coming for the first time or anyways. Krish, Pankit, Haribol.
Haribol, Jai Shri Goklesh.
Jai Shri Goklesh bhai. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. It was a wonderful session. Yeah, I don't have any question.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Ansuya Ben, Haribol, Ansuya Mata.
Hello.
Haribol, Hariyar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry, I'd been driving. I just finished. I just reached home. I'm extremely sorry. I was listening to all your kathas, so it was really quite interesting, and it told so many things. They are really very good points, and maybe on some we can discuss later on. It may take some time. So, but you have highlighted so many points in detail. So really very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hariya Prabhu. Thank you for your reflections.
Yeah.
Haribol.
Haribol, Haribol, Prabhuji.
Gopal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Dandavat Pranam.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Prabhuji, it's amazing to listen all these. Like, I mean, there are a couple of questions, but again, like, it's. Can I ask you a general question? I mean, not.
Sure.
It might not be relating, but it could be. So, just curious. The Gaudiya Sampradaya, it's more we can see in Bengal, Orissa, maybe Assam, Bihar. How about like Vaishnava in other part of India? Like they all are Vaishnava. Like they use the same lifestyle, like Krishna and whatever like Vaishnava form of lifestyle they do they go through that. So like of course you have described like different Vaishnavas. So what kind of usual, like in usual practice, what kind of Vaishnava they are?
So okay, your question is that in Bengal Bengal is known as Gaud Desh. That is true, and therefore the Vaishnavas from there, they are known as Gaudiya Vaishnavas. But the by the mercy of Prabhupada, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are all over the world, just not India.
True, very true.
If you really look at the quantity, statistically speaking, there is maximum Gaudiya Vaishnavas all over the world. If you look at anyways, but coming from the geographical point of view, it is not that Mahaprabhu, he went all over India. He went walking, and he made a lot of Gaudiya Vaishnavas everywhere. Actually, for example, Rup Sanatan, they were from South India. They were South Indian Brahmins, Carnatic Brahmins. Okay, so they became the topmost of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, like that. So it all depends on who is following where the preaching was done. The Sri Sampradaya mainly is concentrated in the South India because of the inclination towards Vaikuntha, like Narayana. So there it's like that. Like Vallabh Sampradaya is also all over the world, by the way. That the Rudra Sampradaya, the followers of Pustimar, they have also everywhere. I mean, in every corner of the world, you'll find them. Although he was not from Gujarat, Sri Vallabhacharya Pad, he was from Madhya Pradesh. So again, it is not the geographical location that is important, honestly speaking. It is the connection with the Supreme Lord, regardless of where you are and whose contact you come with. So a lot of the devotees in Maharashtra, for example, they are devotees of Vitthal, right? Now Vitthal is Krishna, right? And the great saints like Namdev, Tukaram ji, etc., they appeared. But it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave darshan to Sant Tukaram. Even in Gujarat, a lot of the devotees you can see from the villages, etc., if they're not Pushti Mart followers, they're at least, I've heard that some of the students of at least of my age, they used to learn the Vaishnava songs of Narsi Mehta in school. It was a part of the curriculum. So again, geography is sometimes based on which great saint is predominantly present in that area, and he gets the more followers in one sense, right? So sitting here, I got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which I did not get even when I was in India. So actually speaking, the mercy of the Supreme Lord is not limited to any geographical area. That is the conclusion in one sense. And depending on what you like within the heart, Krishna knows. So if one likes Ramachandra Bhagavan a lot, then he will make the arrangement that you will meet some guru in that line, so that your bhav for Lord Ramachandra will be enhanced in that line. Is the Paramatma also within the heart? So I don't
Yep.
know if I was able to address your question completely or not. It was an interesting question, and at the same time, the conclusion, as far as I'm concerned, is it is like all these this Westerners. They've never even been to India. Even today, some of them have never been to India, but they are practicing Krishna consciousness very nicely as Brahmavado Gaudiya Sampradaya devotees. So geography is not. It is our desire that determines where we want to be, whether materially or spiritually. And even in the spiritually, what do you want? Like materially, some may say, I want to be a doctor. Some may say, I want to be a pilot. Somebody say, I want this profession. So then, if that intensity is there, that person will work towards that and get that result. Now, similarly, in the spiritual world, it's also huge. It's unlimited in one sense. So many avatars, so many different forms of the Lord. So based on one's inclination and one's desire, the Lord is there in the heart. He'll arrange it. If one wants to worship Narayana forms, it's there. One wants to worship Lord Ramachandra, is there. Any other forms available. And one wants to know more, then Krishna makes that arrangement. Okay, you want to know the source of all these, then you can approach me directly. I will give you more information about myself. I will make arrangements. You will come across the proper Vaishnavas, devotees, books that will give you more information. Right?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. I mean, my question was general, like nothing
I
relating
understand.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just I was just curious, like how other part, even they worship like the similar way what we are doing. So, but still, like they are not attached to the Gaudiya Sampradaya. So
They're
that
not,
was like,
because they never got the opportunity to get further information. It's like, let's say somebody's profession is IT. They never got an opportunity to know more about cardiology, but they're happy in that. That is also science. Like medical also is under science umbrella. IT is also under science umbrella. So it all depends. And even now, even in Bengal, not everybody is interested in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. It's a small fraction. Extremely small fraction. As a matter of fact, there are more devotees Gaudiya Vaishnavas in Orissa than in Bengal, which is the neighboring state, or more Gaudiya Vaishnavism in Assam and all those northeastern states than in Bengal itself sometimes.
true, Prabhuji. It's actually, I believe, last 30-40 years, it's a lot of decline was happened. Like, I mean,
Lot of decline. That is why Bhaktivedanta Thakur came. We explained that last time. Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Haribol. What about Pravina Mata? Kim Cho? Ansuya Mata? Haribol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Haribol, Pravina Mata.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Jai Shri Prabhupada, Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Raman Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
So anyways,
Oh, nice katha.
thank you. All glories to Prabhupada. So,
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. So anyways, anybody else? Otherwise, we will conclude today. Meet you next Sunday, same time, same place. Everybody be, yes?
No, yeah, Prabhuji, yeah. I think Northeast, in Manipur, I think there are more than 90% ladies who are all Vaishnavis.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go to the market, I'd been there long time back. So I see everybody, like most of the ladies, they sell all the things and goods in the market. And most of them, maybe 95% of there are Vaishnavis.
Yes, because the
which-
king of Manipur was a Vaishnava.
Yeah, yeah.
The past
But I'm
kings,
not.
just like the kings in Puri, they were, as a
Yeah,
matter of fact, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to teach the king's
yeah,
son at one time as a teacher, as a tutor. Prabhupada's Gurudev. For some time he did that.
yeah. But one thing, Prabhuji, I'm not sure if they are all vegetarian.
So
Like
then that's the problem. So
yeah,
same thing in Bengal.
yeah,
Anybody wearing Kanthimala doesn't become a Vaishnava.
yeah,
Even in Orissa also many people are eating fish. And they are wearing Kanthimala and they are singing the glories of Lord Jagannath. ठीक है, but Vaishnava
No,
will never.
but one thing, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Sorry. But one thing, Prabhuji, if they call themselves as Vaishnavas, they do not take non-veg. But if they don't, yeah, you are right. There are so many devotees with country malas, tulsi malas. They eat non-veg at the same time do Harinam. That's not
Yes.
right. But who proclaim themselves as Vaishnavas? I don't think they eat non-veg.
Right. That's right. Right. So that is because what, it has become like a fashion these days. We have to take, most of these people, they take Harinam, Diksha and all that, and they take the Kantimala thinking that they
Yeah.
will get some material benefit. And
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Gurus are also like that. Gurus are also like that. They are giving Kantimala to those people who are eating
yeah,
it. So it is pretty much reciprocatory business.
yeah.
Of course, they will get some benefit, no doubt. That they will definitely get benefit because they are chanting holy name. But if they want to excel, then they have to, follow the rules and regulations nicely to become good Vaishnavas.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
Ashwin Prabhu, I saw you smile. Go ahead. You want to say something? Maybe you can be the last one today.
No, when you say that people who proclaim they eat meat and claim Vaishnavas are smiling, because yeah, that's true. Even in Odisha, I've seen a lot of people like that. So yeah, just struck a chord. So
Yes, Prabhuji. Even Prabhupada, from his practical experience, when he was traveling through Orissa, he went to somebody's house and they said they are Vaishnavas. So he was happy to receive prasadam there. But then he saw that they served him fish in his plate. And he became disgusted during his younger days.
So in following the regulative principles, like for example, one does stock trading. Is that kind of gambling? Like, is that?
That is a gray area. I'll be very honest. Actually, it is depending on the perspective of. See, basically, word stock means what you're owning a share, right, in a certain business, right? Supposing if you are doing a business in partnership, two people, and if you're putting equal money, so that's 50-50. So you're owning 50% stock. That other person is owning 50% stock. But if it becomes too speculative, then it can take the nowadays it's hard to be, most of the stock market is speculative. Yes. But if it is done only as an investment where it's growing, where you're becoming a part, like taking whatever your percentage is in the stocks, then you're getting dividends, you're getting shares, like earnings from the company, then that is not, I would not call that gambling. Yeah.
Okay.
Haribol. Yeah.
Haribol Prabhuji. I just wanted to add something. There are few villages very close to Puri, and they are called Sasani villages. So they are connected to Jagannath temple, and mainly the about the Mukti Mandap. All the learned pandit, they sits there. So usually in those Sasani villages, those non-vegetarianism is not that much like in tradition. But nowadays, like even the younger generation, they started like deviating from their path. So
Yeah.
yes. So
As a matter of fact, I was shocked when I first went to Jagannath Puri, my first visit. I saw so much meat being sold openly on the beaches, like maximum number of what do you call those thelawalas or those vendors. on their little carts openly, like all along the seashore. So much meat is being sold. I don't know if you all had experienced that, but did you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
noticed that?
Like even in the
Yes,
Grand Trunk Road,
Prabhuji.
there are restaurants selling meat, right?
Huh?
Even on the Grand Trunk Road itself.
Oh, on the Grand Road itself, you're right. On the Grand Road itself. Yeah.
But again, like there was a movement, but still it was not successful. There was a movement like to at least to remove all the meat or non-vegetarian hotel from the at least from Bodadanda, that Grand Road. And interestingly, there was a once upon a time, you know, the Uttar Dwar temple has 4 dwar.
The northern gate.
Northern gate, which is called Dharma Dwar actually. But close to that, which is towards the Markanda Sahi and all those. So very very close to. I mean, I'm talking about just the boundary wall of the like close to boundary wall. The like all the machli and all the
Yeah.
those were selling. But not now. It is like like the vendors were taken away. One more interesting thing I just wanted to say, once upon a time I was in a district called Bauddha. So I went there for an audit, and I asked the people that if there is a vegetarian restaurant. So nobody said no. I mean, I had 1 day work, so I have to go to next town. So I had to keep fasting for full day and reach to next town to have my my lunch or my dinner, like
No, I
whatever.
agree.
So
You have to be very careful. They say they will serve you vegetarian, but then there is the same pots and pans for the meat. That
exactly.
happens.
But the reason of telling you the district name is Bauddha. So
Interesting.
so
Yeah,
that is the
very
reason
good.
of telling. I mean, bringing this. Otherwise, there is nothing special. But this is what.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Hare
Gopal
Krishna,
Prabhu, for
Prabhu.
your question, your input. As always, very, very interesting and nice, intriguing. Brings good stimulus to the conversation. So again, thank you all. See you all next Sunday. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Haribol. Falgun Prabhu.
Yes,
Where is
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
where is your god brother Krishna? What is his name?
Kirti Chandra Prabhu.
Huh?
Kirti Chandra Prabhu ji.